I wrote and performed this piece at the Common Press Bookshop in London on the 17th of May 2025. It's called The March of the Idiots. It's great to be here because it meant I had to finally finish writing this piece. I've given myself such a hard time writing it. It's hovered over my head like a cloud, following me around last week, getting heavier, darker, more grey and foreboding. I couldn't find an ending, so then I gave myself a hard time about having a hard time because writing is what I love. So why is this piece giving me so much grief? I put a second cloud on top of the first cloud. The early scratches of dissatisfaction came when, in my first draft, I saw how much I was ranting about straight people. I was telling a friend I was doing this event, except I called it International Day of Homophobia, which made me laugh because that's every day. So I wrote about an idea where we would make a deal with straight people. If they promised to be nice to us 99% of the time, we in return will scrap IDAHOBIT and stay indoors every May the 17th. We'll let them hold an international day instigating overblown toxicity, or IDIOT for short. Imagine. IDIOT is a celebration of heteronormativity. There are idiot street parties all across the land, sponsored by B&Q. You can buy special edition idiot t-shirts from Next that say, Missionary Man, or, for the ladies, What's an Orgasm? Just for idiot, Mr. Brightside is played on repeat across every radio station for 24 hours. It's hard to hear though because the atmosphere in the streets is electric. People are waving their FA-sponsored vuvuzelas, chanting, live, laugh, love both genders. IDIOT offers fantastic opportunities for big companies to show their support. Barclays this year are sponsoring poofter piñatas hanging from trees on every street corner for folk to swing their idiot baseball bats at, breaking open effigies of Sam Smith so their favourite fun-sized bounties spill on the ground. Kids run around laughing, wearing masks of Peter Tatchell and George Michael, chasing each other with water pistols full of pretend AIDS. At the climax of the day, after a straight-paced walking march, idiot queen J.K. Rowling sets fire to a wicker trans man that in turn lights a series of bonfires up and down the coast made from pride flags, marking our little country as safe for idiots. At the dusk falls, a heartfelt vigil is held for all of the straight people whose lives have been negatively impacted by the existence of LGBTQ+ folk. Limited edition idiot Yankee candles are lit, and the scent of vanilla sex fills the sky in order of those none of people. Everyone is free to kiss in public, and no one gets beaten up, except the women when they get home, and their husbands realise that all those cans of idiot steampunk IPA have meant that they can't get hard. Even though they both know he hasn't been able to get hard for years because of the high blood pressure. And yes, he knows he shouldn't get all worked up about pronouns, but he just can't get over it. Ever since his boss accidentally told him he should keep her knickers on after he got gobby when he lost the Christmas jumper competition in the office. Yes, he said it was just banter, but there's definitely something shifty about that one. So anyway, I scrapped writing about that idea for a couple of reasons. The first is that a friend told me I was starting to sound a bit heterophobic. I got a bit of a thrill from that. I felt mischievous. Talking about Idiot Day means we can laugh together in this safe space, pretend it's all funny, because out there is increasingly unsafe for us again. Don't tell them out there, but I refuse to let them know I'm afraid. I want them to know I'm angry, because that makes me powerful, and there's little that they fear more than an empowered queer person who cares nothing about the opinions of straight people. The second, and in all honesty more upsetting reason that I scrapped my first draft, is that I haven't experienced any negativity or homophobia from straight people for as long as I can remember. There's the occasional moment, like the guy on reception at the gym telling me my brother had left his membership card behind, when I don't have a brother, but I do have a husband. Or when we checked into the last available hotel room in Huntingdon, the Wetherspoons Hotel, and the receptionist asked if we needed separate beds. I'm 51. It takes more than stupidity to ruin my day. No, the really frightening thing is that the most toxic comments I've received in recent times have come from people in our own community. The call is coming from inside the house. When did it get so complex? I came out in 1988, when things were so much more simple. We had one phone attached to the wall, 4 TV channels, Tories were evil, Labour were good, straight people were homophobic and bad, gay people were gay and good. Now, everything's upside down. Some straight people are idiots, but most are okay. These days, everyone has their own TV channel. Tories are still evil, but they're irrelevant, like the Empire at the end of Return of the Jedi. Whereas Labour, like a bad copy of Darth Vader made on a photocopier running out of toner, are gasping their way through a series of decisions so bad it makes build a second Death Star look like a good strategy. The stone in my shoe every day, the worm in my brain that keeps me awake every night, are the gay men and lesbians who've decided to make it their life's work to trample on trans people. The LGB Alliance, like 100 monkeys with 100 typewriters, have, in the last week, published an article in HR magazine saying that the word queer should be banned from workplaces, and officially complained to the BBC that the new series of gay dating show I Kissed a Boy is homophobic because one of the contestants is trans. How ironic that the theme of IDAHOBIT this year is the power of community. What does that even mean for us anymore? We're fighting each other like rats in a sack while the war burns. So, how do you solve a problem like decades of internalised homophobia and misogyny? In some ways, we just have to wait, have patience. The average age of an LGB Alliance member is 125, and our joy is their kryptonite. They'll learn that shooting arrows into the tent makes no difference when we are all off dancing in the woods. Eventually, they'll realise that hope triumphs hate, and they'll have to find somewhere else to channel their misplaced self-loathing. I try to have compassion for them, but it's hard. If my 97-year-old Nana could be okay with queer people, I'm not going to let a 55-year-old called Nigel from Milton Keynes off the hook. I've spent the last 2 years working on a self-help book for middle-aged LGBTQ folk. Our generation had a shit time growing up, but that wasn't our choice. If we're now making times shit for others in the community, that's deliberate, and I don't know that I can forgive that. I think I understand it, but I can't forgive it. In many respects, we're all still so young at this. In the history of the universe, LGBTQ rights are so new. It was only 25 years ago that the World Health Organization declared that homosexuality was no longer a mental illness. Firstly, fuck them for ever saying it was. For people of my generation and older, we grew up being told that we were deviants, a threat to the safety of the community who needed to be protected from us. Sound familiar, 2025? The good news is I can reassure you it will eventually be okay. I've lived through the decriminalisation of homosexuality, which happened when I was 8. I was a 7-year-old criminal, which made me feel quite cool. Section 28 was introduced when I was 15, just after I came out, although I'm sure they weren't related. I survived that. The age of consent for gay men wasn't reduced to 16 until, ironically, I was 21, at which point AIDS was tearing the heart out of our community as we lost a whole generation of beautiful lights. I survived it. I'm still here. I'm still queer. And I'm thriving. That's both my revenge and my privilege. Every day I wake up and give thanks that I'm not an idiot, because I would rather be dead than live a life of predictability, conformity, banality, and hate. I choose hope every time, even when the grey storm clouds form above us. Oh look, I've found my ending, a place of hope in the clouds. I wish I didn't have to say see you next year, but whether we're marking another IDAHOBIT or taking shelter from the idiot parade, our community, this community, can celebrate that we will always survive the storm. It takes a special kind of person to know that the clouds might be grey, but the silver linings are blindingly beautiful.